Foot-long sniper build. Primary weapon, model 700, as you can see, 166,000 base damage. Ranger, optimized. I would rather have distance, just for the optimal range. As you can see, I have a 3-piece Provident and a 3-piece Heraldi, so we're going to start with the mask. We have extra health, extra weapon damage, blah blah blah. Over here I would rather have one attribute, although damage release does serve a little bit to damage release for PvE purposes. Over here I would rather have Surge just to get my skills back faster. The chest piece, I have weapon damage, headshot, crit. I would rather have this rolled only for two attributes here. I could have a higher weapon damage roll and a higher headshot damage roll overall. I don't really need crit damage because the crit chance on this is so low. As far as the talent goes, I would rather have either Hardened or Vital just for the extra survivability. Mods wise, I have weapon damage, focused weapon damage, and just the general health mod. On the holster, I have crit damage. I would rather have crit chance. In the free talent slot, I would settle for either devastating or precise. I have both. This one actually has a crit chance on it, but it offers overall lower damage just because it's 5% instead of a 15% headshot that you get from precise. On the backpack, I've got weapon damage and crit chance. While the crit chance is good, I would rather have just weapon damage here, just again for the higher rolls. As far as the talents go, both of these are okay for general utility. As you can see, I can't activate this one because I have no electronics at all. I've got a 13-2-0 build. For these two, I would rather have Hardened and Vital, like on this piece right here, just for the extra survivability. Forgot the mods. Mods wise, I have weapon damage. As far as the gloves go, this is pretty high for a damage roll. This can roll up to 12, I believe, if it's a single talent. I have kneecap currently. I would rather settle for a circular talent, like Precise or Devastating. As you can see, circular talent right here. I do have another piece with Precise on it, but the weapon damage is so low that it wouldn't be viable to use. The knee pads are these Provident ones. I have bonus armor here. I've been told that this can roll for damage. I have not seen anything rolled for damage on knee pads yet. Or nothing worthwhile anyway. As far as this goes, hard hitting is probably the way to go, if not Surge, just for general utility. The mod wise, I have just a weapon optimal range headshot damage mod. It's a very typical offensive protocol mod. For the sidearm, if your primary does not have it, you should go with either greased or protected reload, protected deploy, whatever. So whenever you're reloading, get extra armor because M700 takes forever to reload. As of now, I believe it still applies to all weapons. Grease is also good if you need to switch to your secondary when they get up close on you, and your marksman just can't really, you can't really phase trade with that unless you get lucky or your flick shot is on game. Just general stats page. I'm gonna go there for a second, take a look at everything. I'm gonna stop right here. 166,000 weapon damage with 249 headshot damage. This happens when your primary, your talent has got to be spec'd into the sharpshooter specialist tree, and you get 15% extra headshot damage just from that. Then you get the 138, which is native to the gun. Mod wise, you get that specialist scope that you can get with the sharpshooter talent. That's an extra 10% off of whatever stock scopes you can get. Then 5% weapon damage for a stiff integrated spring. The integrated spring works for any marksman rifle that has an integrated mag, which you would probably have to load one at a time. It also works with a hunting M44, which you can load with a stripper clip from empty, or just anything with an integrated magazine. As far as the muzzle goes, I went with accuracy, although it is possible to one-shot elites if you put this on, with this current build the way it is right now. So I'm going to go demonstrate that right now. So, just to show basic damage right here on a red. 742, that's with a crit. 649, I believe that is without a crit, and we're going to take one more shot at that. That's with a crit, 734. So in the high end, you see you're going to get something like 740s with a crit, and without a crit, you're going to see something like 650s plus. We're just going to go ahead and bump this up to higher difficulties. So before I go ahead and shoot this guy, I'm going to go back into the stat page and show you exactly how much damage to elites I've got. If I can find it. Alright, damage to elites, 79%. Right here, you see that? 79% damage to elites. So whatever damage I'm doing to those guys, I will do 79% more on average. And of course, bullet registration. So you can see that 116,000 will kill the elite in one shot, the named boss. Again, 119. I believe the lower threshold of anything to kill the boss is going to be 114. Or not 114, 1.14 million. And so here I'm doing 1.16 million on these elites with that muzzle attachment on. If I change it back, it should drop a little bit. I believe the lower end of my damage for elites is going to go down to like 112, which isn't quite enough to one-shot them, but if I do get a crit, it'll kill them. Go ahead and restock on ammo real quick. As you can see, that was a crit, so 125. 115, that was Ranger. 113, okay. 113 also one shot. So the threshold might be 113 and change. As you can see, 112 or 1.12 million was not quite enough to one-shot that, but you can see he's black barred. So the threshold is somewhere between 1.12 and 1.14 million. I think it might be like 1.13 and change. Let's see, 1.16 gone. 1.13 and a half. And you can see it pretty much one-shots most named elites that are not heavily armored if you're solo, and if you're in a group, then it'll be a two-shot, because these damage numbers are pretty consistent, as I can see. I'll make a future video posting damage on players when we get some chance to test. Hope you enjoyed this, hope you find it helpful. Laters.